Else is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking apps. No one cares if you only eat meat. Every single one of you have to identify by carnivore fucking Connie, carnivore Ken, whatever the fuck your name is, and you add carnivore to the end of it on your fucking bio is fucking weird. Weird. You're literally treating your diet like a fucking religion. A religion. A meat religion. Okay? Like, what in the absolute meat fuck is this shit? Your fucking boards with your eggs and your cheese and your fucking butter and your dates. Who cares? You can't shit. Your fiber intake is fucking zero, and you think you're just fucking trudging through life getting all healthy. Get the fuck out of here. No one cares. Your meat fucking ass, your meat farts, your meat sweats. No one wants to fucking hear about it. Okay?
Well, I can shit and dates are still not carnivore, right? So
that intro, man, that kills me.
You know, it was kind of a joke on our podcast, but it's just kind of stuck. So we kind of like, why not? That's if we got to make a brand, we might as well go out in style. And before we introduced Maryanne today, we were talking before, and she was like, what about cursing? Can we do that? And I'm like, well, you know, we might have an issue with that. Clearly, Maryanne, you understand now why it's probably okay. So anyway, welcome back to the meat of the matter. We are here with our guest today, who has been, you know, a friend of the show, Lisa. The Prairie Carnivore, we interviewed her, and she's been a guest host on our podcast on Sundays. We are live on Sundays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK, Ireland, 7 p.m. in the Netherlands and continental Europe. She was saying you have to get to know and hear Maryanne's story. She was like, she connected us with Maryanne, and her handle on Instagram is the Peg Leg Carnivore, and she's just launched her website. And we are so thankful for you, Maryanne, for coming on, because we've just found out that this may be your first podcast interview thing. And
it is, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked.
That makes it all the more special, and we are honored to get to hear your story, how you became the Peg Leg Carnivore. So I'm just going to hand it over to you. And how did this whole thing start with the process?
Man. Well, it starts really, I mean, back in late 2022 is the first time that I was hospitalized, and the doctors later found out that it was because of some bacteria in a hot tub in the gym. I was living in Florida at the time, and so the bacteria entered a cut in my leg, and I became septic. And the sepsis spread all throughout my body. I had a heart attack. My kidneys failed. They had to put me on 24-hour dialysis, and I was on a ventilating machine and everything. And so, I mean, it was to the point where my ex-husband and my parents had to get, you know, medical guardianship, because I was gone. I should have died, really, honestly. The septic infection spread throughout my body. I was just like purple and bloated and just not human, really. And that's at that time is when I lost some fingers on my left hand and a little chunk of my left foot. So I've only got 2 toes on my left foot. So I have 2 toes total. Maybe that should have been my handle. 2 toes. But the doctors back in late 2022 wanted to do a double amputation of my legs because of the severity of the infection. Just to cut it off, get rid of it, you know, totally take it out, nip it in the bud, as Barney Fife would have said. But because of the medical guardianship, my parents and my ex chose to do the skin graft surgery. So they basically took what looks like a giant vegetable peeler to my thigh, scraped off the skin, turned it around, and sewed it to my lower leg in order to kind of preserve what they could of my leg and my skin and everything like that. And it worked for a while. So thanks to Jesus, I believe in the Lord. I'm a Christian, and I gave my life completely over to Jesus while I was in the hospital. Then we can talk about that if you want, the spiritual aspect. But I made it through, and the skin grafts seemed to work for a while, but they were always getting infected, opening up, getting irritated. It wasn't ideal. I was struggling with even just doing my job, because I work for Walmart. I lift heavy shit all day long. That's what I do in the back room. And so I was actually at Meat Stock, and it was fabulous. What an event. That was such a blessing to be able to meet all of my carnivore rock stars and, just totally fangirl out on them. But at the end of Meat Stock, I got an infection in my right ankle. And it was so bad that I went to the emergency room. I couldn't put any weight on it. And the doctor said that it was osteomyelitis. So the infection had spread all the way to the bone. And so he recommended an amputation. And here we are. I've got Mr. Stumpy with me. I'm currently in the process of getting fitted for a prosthetic, which I'm very excited about. But I mean, that's really the story of how I lost my leg. And I don't know if you want me to talk about how carnivore fits in with that, or like what else you wanted to know about the surgery aspect or the hospital.
Well, frankly, all of it. But no, but okay, yeah. So how, during this whole process, like this whole thing, where did carnivore come in, and what sort of made you got to the place where you're at now with your diet, and like
Yeah,
what
my carnivore story is kind of weird.
okay.
I've been carnivore since 2018. I
Hmm.
was keto before that, and I was like eating vegetables because I thought that was healthy. And, mama always said, eat your greens. And, so I was just including broccoli, and it made me fart. And, I was just like, I don't want to eat this. But I have to, because I have to have my nutrients and vitamins and everything. And then I came across Ken Berry, and he kind of gave me permission to lose the vegetables because I didn't know that people could survive on just meat. I wanted to. That was kind of like what my body was craving, because I actually grew up in a household where we couldn't eat red meat. My
Oh,
dad is a cardiologist, and he's bought and paid for by the American Heart Association. He believes the saturated fat myth of, and high cholesterol is going to kill you. And, he believes all that stuff. And I didn't have a steak until I was in my 20s. And then it was kind of like just this like brain orgasm. I don't even know
no.
how else to explain it. Like my brain had an orgasm, like literally, like I came alive. It just, so anyway, that's all I wanted to eat. And then Dr. Berry kind of explained, well, no, you don't actually need the vegetables. You can thrive on carnivore. So I did that for a while, and then unfortunately I relapsed into my anorexia. So I was still eating carnivore, but I was not eating enough at all. And that coincided with my first trip to the hospital in 2022. I'm 5'5", and I was under 80 pounds. It was severe. I had relapsed. Today, thank God, thanks to some therapy and thanks to talking to other carnivores that have been through eating disorders and recovery, I'm still, eating carnivore, but now it's like the focus is nourishing my body. And especially after surgery, healing, I'm eating in a surplus. I'm doing it intentionally. I'm happy about it. I feel good. I have energy. It's a different carnivore experience, obviously, than when I was eating to restrict myself. And people, I do have people like my parents, they think, oh, they equate carnivore with anorexia because I did use it when I was when I relapsed. I was carnivore, but I was also anorexic as well, like on top of it. But now that my mindset has shifted and I'm using it to nourish, it's like I said, it's different, but it's hard to explain that to people, and especially when they've seen me go through what I did. But yeah, I know a lot of people come to carnivore for weight loss, but I'm here for weight optimization and for the mental health benefits mostly, because now the anxiety around food is gone.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I was the very, very same. Like I was anorexic at a very, very young age as well. I became anorexic at 12, 13 years of age.
Me too.
And
13.
I kind of fell into it by accident. Because I became obsessed about food, I became obsessed about training. I took it to unbelievable levels of extreme. And it all started from just getting bullied in school and being told I was overweight. But anyways, I was the same as you. I never had that food freedom. Like for me, I always had that fear with food. Always. Even to this day, it's not as bad as what it was like say 30 years ago. But 30 years ago it was out of control. Like if you put food in front of me, it would have scared the life out of me. I couldn't eat it. Whereas now I feel I'm at a stage in my life now where I finally I'm giving my body what it needs. I don't
Yes.
fear about putting on weight anymore. I don't count calories. I don't count macros. I just eat when I'm full and I'm actually enjoying my life. But when I look at when I look at what it's done to me, like the damage psychologically, like I don't think I can ever get into a situation where I'm walking around like what Tony is now wearing a vest. I still have to cover myself. And that's because I've been through all that. Because I can still see myself as an anorexic child. And then when I became obese, I see myself as obese as well. So I still don't feel like I have that comfort in my life.
You still
Where I can
struggle with like the body
100%,
dysmorphia.
100%.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't. I
I'm not
still,
saying I'm not here to say I have all the answers and that I never struggle
Well,
and life is all rainbows and unicorn farts. Like, no. There's definitely bad days. But it is so much better
yeah,
than it used to be.
100%. Yeah.
well,
Confidence is so much better.
even both of you, like what I think the, the thing is with everybody nowadays is what are we measuring all this stuff against? When we're not getting nourished, the insert thing here, how do we know? And I mean, these things are so. I mean, if you have anorexia, the system, and I mean, I'm not dogging doctors. I know they care and stuff, but the system is put you in a box, and it's deal with it this way.
Yeah.
And when you're nourishing your body, even with it's and I mean, Maryanne, like the going carnivore for one thing takes a leap of faith and a bold statement, but to understand and stick with it and transform your diet to where you're at now through this stuff is huge because it's uncharted territory. And if you could just remember when you had that, what sort of dawns on me is you have a steak in your, you have a brain orgasm. That should be a normal thing,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people don't understand that. And the time it takes to get through all the programming and the indoctrination and all the misinformation, if you want. And it's hard from our perspective because you've seen it. You're living proof that this is, your energy and your lifeness is amazing, and what you've gone through to get to where you're at now, sticking with something with that hiccup, that hang up, that is so important. And it's so important to let people know that
And,
this is it.
and
So
I was just gonna add in as well. This is what we're seeing at the moment, Mary, with like so many females, young women as well. They're going through this at the moment. They don't realize that they are having these eating disorders because they're constantly restricting themselves. They just want to diet down. They just want to look like certain individuals. They look at people on social media and they're like, okay, I want to look like these people, and they just fall into that trap.
I had to delete my Facebook because I was constantly comparing myself to other people. And I find that the communities on Instagram are so much more uplifting and supportive,
Yes.
usually, especially the carnivore community. I mean, the outpouring of support when I was in the hospital from people I didn't even know, sending me things and praying for me. I mean, what a blessing. So I think we really have a great community, and I hope it continues to grow the way it is. But I mean, you're so right. I mean, high school was bad enough for me when I went through it. I'm 33, and so we didn't have smartphones. They were right on the cusp of being developed, I think. I graduated high school in 2009, but I just can't imagine today with, all of the social media and the TikToks and the just right on your phone all the time, and just oppressive is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But
And the social media side of things too, it allows them, we'll say them, to put us in boxes where, oh, you're broken. Oh, this is that. When you look at all these things that have factors and then you're malnourished, what do you think happens? And how many people are so disconnected from their own bodies, from their
Yeah.
own, and I'm not minimizing this because I know it's a very serious thing, and I feel for both of you on that side of things, because I went through went through it in different ways. Insomnia, and I had no idea that I was an insomniac. I had no idea that basically as soon as I hit the pillow, my brain was on overtime, and it was basically like a manic depressive bipolar, only at nighttime. And I thought that was just me being broken and battle through it. Don't go to the doctors. You're not weak. It's just it's all the same. And then if I did go to the doctor, they give you meds and they say, well, this is your problem. This is it. And it's so important to like hear stories like both of you and mine, to get that we're not individually broken, and there's certain foundations you can do to get more nourished, I guess the term is.
There's other options. I mean, I was sent to an eating disorder treatment center, like residential inpatient. And let me tell you, it's basically prison. You have a time that you have to get up every morning. You have a blind weigh in. You go to breakfast and you have a plate full of just like carbs and sugar and it would be fruit and pancakes and orange juice, and you always had a dessert, and you were timed for the meal, and you couldn't bring a knife to the table, and you had to roll up your sleeves, and you couldn't, it was just agonizing. And then they put you in a room and asked you how you feel, and you're like, well, you're not letting me get outside or exercise or be in the sunshine. You're feeding me all this bullshit, and then you're sitting me down in a room and asking me if I'm anxious. Well, like, of fucking course I'm anxious, and then they put you on the medicine.
Yeah.
And I would like fall asleep all the time in the middle of the day. I'd just be walking around and just like fall asleep. And there's other options besides what the official doctors prescribe. There are other options. And I just encourage people to find what works for their body, because for me, I have to be really strict carnivore, because even just like eating an apple would trigger the binge, purge, restrict cycle for me. But I find that like meat only, and then some supplements like protein powders and things like that, and the keto brick or, something like that every now and then is fine. But, I'm not here to say you have to do exactly what I am doing. I want everybody to flourish and nourish and thrive. And for some people, they want to add in a couple vegetables or fruit. That's not carnivore. It doesn't work for me. But if that's what works for you, I say go for it. But it's all about like, we just have to take responsibility. Just be as self-sufficient as you can. Take responsibility of your life, of your body, of your health, and start investigating.
100%. No, I completely agree with you, and I'm glad you brought that up, because this brings back painful memories for me. I was also in one of these treatment centers, and they treated me like absolute shit. Like, honestly, I was in a really, really bad way. I was in a really, really bad way when it came to food. And I was like, I got lower than you, Mary. I'm 5'3", and the lowest I got down to was like, I was under 50 pounds.
Oh my God.
I was like a skeleton. There was nothing on my body, literally nothing on my body. Okay. Now these people were threatening me and saying, listen, okay, if you're not going to eat, you're not going to be going outside, you're not going to be watching the TV. It was horrendous. Jesus.
Yeah, and you earned a phone call with your family at the end of the day if you ate all your food like a good little girl. you know, and then the
Because
supplements they gave
yeah,
you, like those protein shakes that were just
yeah,
like seed oils and like
yeah.
just
But
god awful.
not only that, not only that, I was told on a regular basis, this is no word of a lie. I was told on a regular basis that I have a mental problem.
Mm.
That's what I was
Without-
told. I was told on a regular basis that I had a mental problem, and that's the reason why you're here.
How many times did they test your blood for vitamins, minerals, and
Never, not once, not once. I was
that's
told all I have to do is eat. They were putting a drip into my arm every day and saying, just listen, you just take this. And all I could see in the bottle that was going into my arm was this orange fluid. So I was like, okay, what's this? This must be just like sugars. And then when I look at the food they were giving me, it hasn't changed to this day. I was being given weight gainer shakes. I was given protein bars. It was like non-stop. They just wanted to fatten me up, and they did not give a shit how they did it as long as they fattened me up.
yeah.
And
They're on
I took on their advice because they were the experts. I was only young at this time. I was like, okay, well, these guys are the experts. My mother doesn't want me to die, so I need to listen to what these people are telling me. And I ate everything they told me. I was having jelly and ice cream. I was having
Yeah, I had
cereals.
like
Oh
4
my
Cliff
God.
bars a day, and
Yeah,
it was like 6 meals a day.
yeah,
They, you know, oh,
non-stop.
because you have to eat at a regular interval to keep your
Mhm,
blood sugar up, you know, and
and yeah, they're giving you baby formula
mhm.
instead of breast milk. That's, I know it's kind of a weird metaphor, but that's what they're doing. They're giving you all this alternative shit in the name of health with a bunch of crap in it. And I mean, I just today actually went into a drugstore because I've been testing my blood sugar or my blood pressure since I've stopped coffee, and I've been curious, so I've been taking a baseline. And I just happened to walk by the baby formula. Oh my God. Like the seed oils, the crap that's in that stuff, telling you to do that instead of breast. And that's what I vision. Like it just came to my mind when I'm hearing both of you in these institutions for your health.
Mhm.
well,
And
the thing is, they always told me, oh, it's not even about the food. It's
Mhm.
just the mental component.
Exactly. I was
Your
told the
brain
exact
is
same thing.
broken, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
doesn't even matter what you eat as long as you're just stuffing yourself with calories. It doesn't matter. The food doesn't matter. It's all in the brain. Well, your
Mhm.
brain can't function properly if you're eating shit.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
how
know.
do you expect me to get better and change my mind, improve my mental condition when you're feeding me what's causing the mental condition in the first place?
And
So,
to
but
this day,
it's like, it makes me wonder, do they know what they're doing and they're there for the profit and the money?
yeah.
Because the recidivism rate of these eating disorders is incredibly high. People go back. I mean, since I've been out of the treatment center, for years, I've seen friends of mine that I was there with go back, revolving door, more money for them, more money for them. And honestly, I'm just wondering, like, do they know what they're doing?
I think maybe there's a few sides to that. I mean, we could go and put on your tinfoil hats, people, because here we go. I think there is. It's the system itself that is nefariously designed to keep you plugged in. Like,
Mhm.
do not. It's not helping, and it's coping and just masking things to keep you in that revolving door. In the name of we're here for you, they don't try and cure or help. They
Mhm.
just
Well,
prolong.
they don't believe that you can cure an eating disorder, but
Yeah.
I believe you can. I
Of course you
mean,
can.
not that, like I said, not that I never have an intrusive thought or anything like that, but now I know how to handle it. Now I know I have better coping skills. But they said there's no such thing as curing anorexia. That's what I was told in this high, I mean, a very expensive, very nice, high level eating disorder treatment center. Um, there's no cure. You're always going to be sick. You're always going to be struggling. That's,
Yeah.
what they said. And then, another great thing, of course, what they said is, if you can't eat everything that we put in front of you, you're still sick. So if you can't eat a donut, if you can't eat this little Debbie snack cake without like having concerns about it, if you have to look at the ingredient list before you eat something, you're still sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just,
Jesus.
And honestly, I was this brings back so many memories for me, because I was told the exact same thing, and it's amazing. Like, that happened over 30 years ago. That happened a long, long time ago, and to this day, nothing has changed. Nothing
And
has changed.
and I mean, I read every single ingredient. I read ingredients of the stuff I don't eat, and I read ingredients all the time. And I mean, when you actually realize what the hell's going on, it is mind blowing. And that's where I wonder, do they know? Who are all the powers that be? Whose side are they on? Because I mean, if you want to put a bunch of chemicals we can't pronounce into food to increase profits, well, right there, do we have to argue that it's not beneficial for humanity?
Mhm.
And sorry to switch gears. I mean, you're the peg leg carnivore, and we're talking about an eating disorder, and this is why it's mind blowing how important these mental issues are, because like they put us in boxes, and I agree with you, Maryanne. Like when your brain is firing properly, even though there are some things that need to heal and need to be done, the nourishment that you're giving your brain changes the way you process and handle stress. The nervous system reacts differently. Things start improving in ways. And I mean, I find myself aware of things now where it's not like I don't just automatically jump down a subconscious reaction to it. It's, oh, I can see this. Oh, maybe this is, and I know now if my brain wasn't nourished, it wouldn't be possible. I would be erratically emotional. And how did this tie into when you got like the sepsis thing? That was just the bacteria, sort of like bad luck. What
Yeah,
happened?
pretty much. The doctors can't prove it, but they do believe that it was bacteria from a hot tub at the gym.
Mm,
And it unfortunately coincided with my relapse. So my body was just so unable to fight off the infection because
mm,
I wasn't eating enough. I
okay.
wasn't nourishing myself properly. And so my body was so weak, just in a weakened state. And I mean, I remember my ex-husband taking me to the emergency room, and the last thing I remember was the nurse trying to give me a Gatorade because my electrolytes were so out of whack. And then everything went black, and I woke up and didn't know what was happening. The world was upside down. I was seeing demons circling my bed. I had all kinds of crazy visions and dreams and nightmares, and but I was told later that I had had a heart attack. And then, this complete cascade of organ failure because, again, yeah, I was eating carnivore, but I wasn't properly nourishing myself. Um,
Yeah, and that's something to touch on as well, because I do believe this is a lot of people go into this sort of way of eating with our other programming, like what's on your plate, you finish. The size of your plate, the size of your fist, blah blah blah. This is all the past. And when you've witnessed firsthand, like, you need to nourish your body, and who knows how much that is.
Mhm.
We're measuring it against everybody else, and whether you need this much meat or that much meat, this much fat, we're all somewhat, when we start this way of eating, under eating to a certain extent, because we've never been properly nourished. And that
And I,
obviously is my opinion.
yeah, and
But
I think that's what. Sorry, Tony. I
yeah,
think that's the reason why we need to be focusing on when we speak about healing. Healing is so important. Like, if you've done an awful lot of damage to your body over the years, it's going to take a bit of time for that body to heal and get back to where it's meant to be functioning again. And this is what I see a lot with women. Women, they
yes.
destroy their hormones, they destroy their metabolism, they destroy their cycle. Everything is just damaged. They're losing their hair. It's just
Yeah,
like it's
people
incredible.
come in and they're like, I want a carnivore as hard as possible. So I'm gonna, do one meal a day, and it's gonna
Mm.
be just a 1 pound steak. And I'm like, especially for women, you cannot do that and thrive. Like, that is not enough food. Like, but we do still have that programming in the back of our minds, that Tony was talking about, you know, about how we're supposed to look and how we're supposed to eat, and how much is a proper portion size and all of this stuff. But after I spoke with a woman named, I don't know if y'all know Maryanne Smith. she's also a really fantastic proponent of carnivore as eating disorder recovery. And when I heard her story and how she had used carnivore to nourish and recover, she really encouraged me to just eat, just don't worry about it so much. Like I don't count calories and macros, and I just, when I'm hungry, I eat some meat, and when I'm full, I stop. And that's the freedom that I've been looking for my entire life around food.
Absolutely. 100%.
And that's what's so amazing. So,
and I think like you nailed it. Like that's so important. And I think put on the tinfoil hats again. I think this is all indoctrination and programming. Look in the 80s. I mean, I was kind of an 80s child. It was Kate Moss, skinny, swimsuit models and all this. It was all designed. Women must have been like, oh, that's what I got to look like. Coming out of the Jane Fonda workouts. And then now it's like the exact opposite is celebrating obesity. Like it has nothing to do with the human spirit, soul,
body positivity.
This is like, I can only imagine, sorry, I'm going to say it, the mind fuck that women are going through when their hormones are dysregulated. They're broken down from all this programming. Women my age going into menopause with like, am I skinny? Am I fat? Is this good? Is it like, holy shit.
Well, I damaged myself so much. I mean, I haven't had a menstrual cycle since 2016. I mean, just throwing that out there. I mean, I say that not to give you TMI, but just to say these things are happening to women, and it's a disaster. Like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to have children because of what I did to myself. And I don't want other people, to have to go through that. I want women to thrive.
Yeah.
Well said, Mary. Honestly, that's such an important message. It really is, because Tony knows this. I work with an awful lot of women, and this is the one thing I focus on the most. Is when people come to me and they're like, I want to start a family, but I want to lose weight at the same time. I'm like, okay, well, we can't do both. We can't.
And
that's
a great point. You have to know what your goals are and then work towards those. You can't just kind of wing it, I guess. I mean, not that I'm saying like, to be fastidious about, record every single little thing. I mean, I guess that works for some people. If you're doing a bodybuilding competition, you gotta really dial in your macros and know what you're doing. But for example, right now, my goal is healing and getting my prosthetic and being able to return to work and just enjoy my life. I'm not trying to get to a bodybuilding competition or be the skinniest Kate Moss or, whatever. So that's why I'm, eating the way that I am. But you have to kind of know why you're doing what you're doing as well.
But you said something important there, Mary. You just want to enjoy your life. You don't want to be thinking about weight loss. You don't want to be thinking about food. You just want to enjoy your life, be healthy. And I think that's so important.
For sure.
I spent too many years of my life obsessing over my body in the mirror. And, when I was anorexic, wanting those bones to stick out because of my body dysmorphia and just being so anxious and worried about everything. And that mental freedom is what I want.
Yeah.
No, couldn't agree with you more. Well said.
And Mary, like a couple more questions about like being in the hospital and like going through this whole thing. Like what, and I feel bad for asking this, but what were they feeding you? Like what was that like? How was that experience about?
Yeah, at that time, so there are two separate hospital experiences and they're very different. The first time when I was septic and anorexic, they did feed me through a feeding tube, and it was kind of like what Mark was talking about, the sludge of chemicals and seed oils and God knows what. I mean, it was just, a glucose drip and this and that, and just to fatten me up, just to get my weight up.
Really? Using sugar to fatten up. That sounds weird, eh?
And my mom would bring me chicken nuggets from McDonald's once I was able to eat solid foods, and just crap, bullshit. It was just all, garbage. But I'm actually getting ready on my website. I'm posting tomorrow. I have a blog post that I wrote out about my second experience in the hospital. Actually May 22nd of this year, 2025, is when I had the amputation. So it's pretty recent. And at that time, of course, I'm still eating carnivore, but I'm actually nourishing my body. So I was strong. I was healthy going in. I recovered from the surgery so well. The doctor was like incredibly amazed at how well I was doing with recovery, and and credit to God for that as well. But the second time around, I ate completely carnivore while I was in the hospital, and it is possible to do. People don't realize, you don't have to eat what they feed you at the hospital. You can ask for eggs, you can ask for bacon, you can ask for plain hamburger patties, and they will bring them to you. You can DoorDash, you can, get creative. I had a friend cooking me steaks and bringing them to me. Yeah, I mean, so it was a completely different experience. And like I said, I'm in the process of writing a blog post about it. If anyone's curious, like, here's exactly what I did to like be carnivore in the hospital. And I
That's
mean, I
awesome.
think it helped me heal faster.
Well, you know what? I think that's definitely a huge factor for sure. And if the doctors are noticing it, then like there's something to be said that, because I remember when I went in for surgery and I had wound care for 2 months, and they were like, this is the healing process. When you stand out, for sure they notice. So that's And do you think the doctor, did he mention anything about you doing carnivore at the time, like in the hospital?
No, I mean, I talked to the nurses about it, and they were curious, like, why do you do that? And what can you eat? And don't you miss XYZ? And, all that stuff. But I mean, I was told to eat a high protein diet. I was like, no problem, boss. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
But they specifically said you need a lot of protein to heal.
Yeah. That's you'd think that the hospital would follow suit with their own advice and feed not giving you a tray of Jello, maybe. Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. So, and then how are you feeling right now? How are you eating right now? Like, what's your sort of, how's your day of eating look like? What are you doing?
Yeah, I usually I get up, and my neighbor has been so sweet to me. She takes me to the gym in the mornings usually. And I just do like a little light workout, upper body stuff, a little bit of like lower what I can do with my one leg.
Yeah.
I usually work out fasted, and then I come home. I actually just crushed about, I'd say 15 to 20 chicken wings before our interview.
Good woman, good
I
I
woman.
love
love it
chicken
when a
wings.
woman says crushing meat, right? Like, that's awesome. Yeah.
I know. I really should start an OnlyFans where I'm just like eating meat with my hands. I mean, isn't that a turn on? Like, I would make a lot of money, I feel like. Especially if I did it topless, but I'm not willing to do that. Sorry. Not gonna happen.
Well, if you
But
have to go back to
somebody
nature, right?
somebody should do that and make a lot of money. Just like crush chicken wings. Yeah. But I usually eat 2 or 3 meals a day, and like I said, if I get hungry in the middle of it, I might have a snack. I don't usually get hungry between meals. But I'll have, and like for example, I have in the crock pot today, I have short ribs, and then I'm gonna heat them up in the air fryer, shred them, get them all nice and crispy later. That's about 2 pounds worth of short ribs. And then for my third meal, I might have some eggs and bacon or something. So I'm doing, I don't know, probably close to 3 pounds of meat a day. And I eat eggs, sometimes a little bit of cheese and raw milk, but mostly fatty red meat and chicken wing. I just love chicken wings. I have chicken wings every day, I think.
Oh,
That's amazing. 3 pounds of meat a
that's
day. That's amazing. Amazing to hear.
yeah. And I mean, that's trusting, all the cliches, all the puns, trusting your gut, and like, riding your intuition and just let it go. That's what it's all about, I think.
Well, and the beautiful thing is, like, I don't worry about it because I know it's good for my body. My body will use it to heal, and I know that if, it if it does need adjustment, if I need to eat less or eat more, my body will
Mm-hmm.
let me know somehow,
Mm-hmm.
like with your poop or with your mood or with your sleep, or, you know, if you just pay attention, your body knows what to do.
And I would say that's probably the most underestimated thing is in involving intuition is, you know, the hermetic principle, cause and effect. If you actually take that literally and realize that when you wake up and you have a headache, there's a reason. And it's probably related to something you're doing in your life or your diet or your lack thereof nutrition. And it's once you start inserting that formula, like, you know, practically to almost everything, you can start to reverse engineer almost anything. And I find that with people, like the people that, you know, add a little bit more fat, I need a little bit more salt. And it's just, they start feeling it instinctively and and the intuition goes off the charts. And it's pretty cool. When you're doing something like that, like you're doing every day, you can start to see the differences and see the, you know, the nuances that work for you. Right. And
well, it wasn't easy to get there. And I'm still learning. I still have so much to learn. Like, it's crazy, and it is hard, especially for women and especially for anyone like Mark who's been through anorexia, because we spent years telling our body what to do and telling our body, overriding our body's signals for so long, you know, forcing ourselves through the hunger and through everything, that your body has to learn to trust you again too.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
Can I ask you a question, Mary? From what you know, from what you went through in the past, and myself, I have an answer on this, but I want to hear your opinion on this. If you know someone that's in a similar situation at the moment that is going through anorexia, would you recommend that people go straight in cold turkey to carnivore, or would you say, okay, no, this needs to be done in phases?
Gosh, I don't know. I've never honestly thought about that before. I reckon it would depend on the individual.
Yeah.
To be honest, so I'm gonna say I don't know. But I think personally, what would have helped me would have been allowing that person to still feel like they have some control over their situation.
Yes. Yeah.
And to kind of make those choices. So I would say, like, ease into it, because you give that person, like, eating disorders are about control. That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's partly about the food and the nourishment, but it's also about control and coping with something. And they still need to feel like they're in control, I think, in order to start the recovery process. So I don't know. It's such an individual thing.
Yeah, I'm the same as you, because I'm dealing with a 15-year-old at the moment. She's anorexic. She has a huge eating disorder. She's very, very fearful of food. And it was actually young Jonathan that got me in contact with this young girl, where I feel like if you're dealing with an eating disorder, just telling someone, okay, just go off and just do your own thing and just eat whatever you like, as long as it's carnivore, I believe, it can work. But what I believe in, and from what I know and from what I went through, and if I look back at it and say, what would I wanted? I would have said, right, I want to do it at the right pace. Like, don't start putting lots of food in front of me, because I won't be able to eat it. That fear will come straight back. And I can see that at the moment with this young girl that I'm working with at the moment. She's on
like, don't tell me what to do. Don't overwhelm me.
Yeah. So if I said to her, okay, listen, we're going to be eating this amount of food, she's going to be like, don't tell me what to do. I have this unbelievable amount of fear here. Like, I can't do this. So I have to work at her pace. So her food is extremely low at the moment, like really, really low.
Yeah.
But I know
it's the right things that matter. It's the right things.
Yeah. So basically, I know that when she gets better, her metabolism is going to speed up, her hormones are going to function the way they should be functioning, and she's going to get that hunger back. But I need to educate her to do it the right way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
I just don't think if I ask her to go straight in and just go full carnivore, go by what everybody else says, just eat until you're full, I just don't think that's going to work with someone who has an eating disorder.
It's a scary thing. And like I said, you've been telling your body, when you have an eating disorder, you've been shutting off all the signals anyway. So you can't really listen to your body. Your body can't trust you to put food in it and keep it there.
Mm.
And you're just confused. I don't think I agree with you on that.
Because if you put a lot of food in there straight away,
Mhm.
psychologically, it's like, oh my God, I'm putting on so much weight here.
Yeah.
Well,
So even though it's good food, it's like, okay, well, I don't see that. So
Mhm.
I used to have this when I used to always look in the mirror. That every time I ate something, I'd always look at my belly, and every time it went out, and I got that bloated feeling, I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't like this feeling. And the next day I would starve myself, or I'd go to the gym and I'd punish myself.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you're both talking like this, because like I have a couple clients that are over 70, and my explanation of them is like, you don't eat a lot. You need to make every gram of food that's going in your body count. So it's not the amount, but when you do eat, filling up on a bunch of stuff that is and that's kind of like, with telling somebody to eat this much. If you have an eating disorder, right? Like, that's all great, but it's not gonna happen. But maximizing the nutritional value of everything that they're putting in their mouth is probably, and that's like you say, Mark, that's probably when everything's going to start to nourish and get in line, and it's going to lead to hopefully, a better
Optimal health. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in quality over quantity in everything almost, like they quantify everything, calorie. How would you do if they told you the calories? I think I know the answer, Mary, but let's hear what you have to say about it.
What was the question?
Calories? What do you think about calories?
Oh, the calories in, calories out model.
Yeah. How would you have been with if you just stuck to that after the hospital?
Oh my God. I don't even want to think about it. Oh, I am so glad that I don't think about calories, don't worry about calories. I mean, it's just a made up unit of measurement, like time. Like somebody just made up hours and seconds. 60 seconds makes a minute, 60 minutes makes an hour. It's just like, I think, what is it? 1 calorie is what it takes to raise some amount of water, like 1 degree Celsius or something. It's just such an arbitrary number that somebody just pulled out of their ass. Like, worry about the quality of the food that you're putting in your body. Like the guy that lives across the street from me has a beautiful garden out front. He grows his own vegetables. I actually raise quail in my backyard. I can walk out there and get fresh eggs, and I butcher the meat. So I mean, it's like, talk about farm fresh or fast food or whatever. Those eggs are so good.
Okay.
But it's just, worry about what it is made out of, because it becomes you. Whatever you put in your body, it turns into you. Like, it makes cells, it makes you. You really are what you eat.
Yes. I would have to absolutely agree with you. And quite often you say that to somebody, they look at you like with these deer in headlights look. Like, I'm like, you think the McDonald's means nothing? Like the crap that you're putting in your mouth means nothing. That's what you're made of, man. Or it's just it's unreal when people just, and it's nice because some people get it and they click like, oh, you mean to tell me?
Don't you just love when you get called crazy for being carnivore while somebody's eating a bag of Doritos? Like,
oh yeah,
that's the best.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense at all.
And I go ahead, Mark.
No, Tony, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's like we say this all the time. It's like you can eat Coke or drink Coke and eat Doritos all your life. No one gives a shit. As soon as you eat meat for 1 week only, they are like, "Oh, you're gonna die."
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that. That's so bad for you. It's like, what?
Yeah, I was the same. I was in a restaurant there about 2 or 3 months ago, and I ordered 2 steaks, and I put a little bit of butter, and these are big steaks. And this couple across from me were looking at me and saying, Are you not worried about your cholesterol? Are you not worried that you're gonna have a heart attack? And these 2 fucking people were having 2 desserts, like 2 apple tarts. And I was like seriously, it's like what do you say? Like apple tart and ice cream. They were having a pint of beer as well. I was like, oh my God, like
Oh my
seriously,
God.
it's unbelievable. It's like, oh my, and I was going out for a meal, and I was like, listen, I'm not having this conversation. I'm not having this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all throughout the night, they kept on asking me, are you going to eat all that? Just meat on its own? Are you not going to eat vegetables? Constantly judging me, and
Yeah.
these people were just eating. They had
The
chips for the, they had
audacity.
yeah, they had chips for the main course. Then they had enough. Oh no, they didn't. They had the starter. They had the soup. Then they had their main course, which was dinner, and then they had a dessert, and then they were topping it off with a few points. And I was like, oh my God, the amount of sugar you're putting in your system, and you're worried about me and my cholesterol.
Yeah.
It's,
Mary, how do your friends and family feel? Like, what do they do, and what are they carnivores? Are they
Well, like I told you, my parents are both doctors, and they are completely against this life. I mean, I'm inundated constantly with them sending me messages about how I'm anorexic and how I'm gonna die and how, this and that and the other. And so my parents are it's a struggle. It's difficult because, I send them peer-reviewed research studies that are starting to come out about these things, and they don't even bother to read them. And it's tough. I have 4 siblings, and they have seen how carnivore has helped me, so they're starting to come around and be supportive. And a lot of my friends are very supportive because they've seen physically, I don't live near my parents, but, the friends that I have are able to see how it's helped
yeah
me and see the mental change. So they're very supportive. So it's a mixture. But I don't have any IRL friends that are carnivores as well. Well, maybe like 1 or 2 that live close by, but for the most part though, friends are supportive, but they're not participants. But I'll
yeah
get them there. I'm working on it.
yes I know how that feels. It's like I could never do that. That's just you.
but
But
that must be incredibly hard that you've got parents that are working in the health sector and they're absolutely convinced that what you're doing is absolutely wrong. And you just look at like you're thriving, you're healthy, your eating disorder is gone, you're eating the best food possible. Like surely they should see past that and say, well, my daughter looks a lot better now. She's doing really well in life. Surely I must ask her a few more questions and find out a little bit more about this. I don't understand what the pushback is. I'll never understand why people and doctors will say, okay, it
Their
doesn't
minds are
work.
just so closed off to it.
It's
But
very frustrating.
I mean, like my dad, I'm very proud of him. He's very intelligent. He's chief of cardiology at a hospital and at a medical school, and he goes around the country lecturing and giving all these talks and presentations about all this cutting edge stuff in cardiology. But you got to think about who's he paid by
Mhm.
and what's their agenda and what have they been telling him for, God, however long is 40 years that he's been doing this. I mean, I hope that when he retires this fall, that once he's out of the system, maybe I can start working on him a little bit more. And but it's really tough to not have that family support there.
I mean, I'm working with someone that works in the health sector at the moment. She's a nurse, and she told me that she will never come on this podcast because of that reason. She can't speak about this.
I feel bad, handcuffed. I mean, I get that as well, Mark. I feel it because I don't think it's because they don't want to know or care, but it's like, when you're dealing with a lot of the politics and the systems shit, like I mean, all the doctors that we've all followed, and I would say this not lightly, idolized because they spoke out against it. That takes a lot of courage, man. And putting your career and your livelihood, families on the line. I feel them. Unfortunately, sometimes not staring at something that's smashing you in the face and you can't admit that there's something there, it pisses me off a little bit. And I dealt with that too. With my family, my ex's family, we're all doctors. And I got into this stuff, and it was like, dealing with uncles, aunts, all of them. And I'm like, just talking about cholesterol. No, that's stupid. Don't. Oh, so I'm learning things, and you're telling me I'm stupid for learning them? And you guys.
It's like what we went through with COVID. Don't do your own research, man. How dare you?
Yeah.
Mhm. I know this is going a little bit slightly off topic, but this is the reason why I don't work in the fitness industry anymore. Because of that reason, because there's so many bad habits. Like it's like focus on calories, just focus on training, just do all these classes. It doesn't make a difference what you're eating. You just need to come to the gym, burn it off, all this bullshit, just calories in, calories out. I could not, I know I speak for myself here, right? I'm pretty sure Tony would say the exact same thing. I just could not work in that environment ever again. I just couldn't. I couldn't explain to someone from what I know now, okay, just track your calories. Just follow the food pyramids. I just couldn't. For me, if I did that, I'd be like, okay, well, that's not who I am anymore. I moved away from that. I'm like, I've been doing this I know over 4 years. I'm coaching this way. I'm never gonna go against this now. I know that this is pretty much what everybody should be on.
Yeah.
It's just, I just cannot. I just could not see myself ever going back into that environment ever again.
Well, I'm glad you do what you do.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and Maryanne, I'm glad you do what you do too. So let's talk about your blog website launch. Like, what's happening with that? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm super excited because everyone was always like, tell your story, and I was like, I don't know how. But I wrote out just everything that happened to me. There's pictures. Some of them are kind of gross, so don't be eating maybe while you're looking at it. But it's just at peglegcarnivore.com, and you can also schedule like a time if you want to talk to me about anything. Like I'm here to talk to people and to just share and to just listen if you have something without judgment. I'm just here for that. And I also put up like some fun recipes and stuff that I eat, you know. So just check it out, peglegcarnivore.com, and I'm just trying to share who I am.
We'll definitely, probably winding it up pretty quick here, but just we're gonna close it off. But we'll stay on the line because we'll talk about it. I'm gonna post. We'll get all your information. Make sure it's in the descriptions and like send it out with all this stuff as well.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
And obviously, people can get a hold of you at Peg Leg Carnivore on Instagram.
Yes.
And is it TikTok as well, or just Instagram?
No TikTok for me.
Good for you. TikTok's driving me crazy, man.
That's the one thing I have refused to download. I'm like, nope.
No, they're good. Well, good for you. I mean, and the carnivore community on Instagram. I mean, I had a great time with them yesterday. It was pretty fun. It was good.
There's a lot of great people on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow Maryanne at Peg Leg Carnivore on Instagram. We'll get her all her stuff for her website and her blog. Mark, anything to chime in before we end it up? Anything?
No, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Maryanne. We want to be hearing your story because Lisa spoke about you a lot in the last couple of weeks. I was looking forward to meeting you last week, but again, the times we got mixed up.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
That was my fault as well. But these things happen. But your story's amazing. I'm hoping if one person hears this and it helps this person, then we've done a great job today. And that's what it's all about. We do these videos to help people. We don't get paid for this. And we reach out to amazing people like yourself. We hear your stories and we just want to hear them. And because there's an awful lot of people out there that are going through similar. There's a lot of people out there that are getting the wrong information. And the only way we're going to fix it is by just keep doing this. Just keep pushing the algorithm. Let's see what we can do. And let's hopefully then we can get her over the line eventually.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
And Maryanne, I just want to, I have no words. We're so grateful for you, and your story is so necessary. And for you to have the courage, the strength to share this and to make it part of you, it's really, really, it's heartwarming. And I'm just so thankful that you agreed to come on and share it with us. And I want to say, anytime you would like to come back, we would love to have you. We're starting to get our live shows. Come and host and come and just hang out. We're starting to expand that to, a little bit more of a camaraderie conversation, just come and hang out with like-minded people. And I hope that anybody is listening to this, that you can just feel Maryanne's strength and courage, and please share this with people that need to hear it. And we do appreciate all the support. Like I said, we are live on Sundays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in the Netherlands and Europe. I know Peter's probably got it. He's going to watch this. He's probably going to want to meet you, so we're going to have you back, because Peter will be, he's a good guy.
I'd love it anytime. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody, for being here. And please share, like, subscribe to all the channels. Make sure you support Maryanne at Peg Leg Carnivore on Instagram and her website, which I will post. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks again, everybody, for being here.